The last photo seemed ordinary, just another snap in a sea of fleeting stories. A blurred image of sneakers on a quiet road, a caption with a single word, almost. For 17-year-old Madison Clark, Snapchat was second nature. She used it to chat with friends, share updates, and keep her parents guessing about her whereabouts. On the night of September 14th, she sent one final snap before disappearing without a trace. When Madison's parents realized she hadn't come home that night, panic set in. Her phone went straight to voicemail, and her streaks with friends, something she never missed, suddenly went dark. By morning, her best friend, Kayla, was posting desperate pleas online. "Has anyone seen Maddie? Last snap I got was near Miller's Creek. This isn't like her." At first, police treated Madison's disappearance as a possible runaway case. After all, teenagers sometimes went off on their own. But something felt off. Madison had left her purse, her money, and even her charger behind. And then came the messages. Cryptic, half-deleted, fragments of a conversation found in her Snapchat archive. The digital trail begins. Investigators quickly realized this wasn't just about where Madison went that night. It was about who she was talking to. Snapchat, unlike text messages, left a trail that was both fleeting and permanent in strange ways. Snaps vanished after being viewed, but metadata lingered in the background. Madison's last known communication wasn't with her family or friends. It was with someone she only referred to as Ace. Who was Ace? A boyfriend? A stranger? Or something more sinister? Detectives reached out to Snapchat's legal team to preserve Madison's records. While they waited, Kayla shared her own piece of the puzzle. "She told me Ace wanted to meet by the creek. She said she was nervous but excited. I don't know who this guy is, but he's real." The suspense builds. The first break came from Madison's Snapchat location sharing feature. Hours before she vanished, her Bitmoji had last appeared on a stretch of deserted road leading toward the creek. But after that, nothing. Detectives drove to the site and found skid marks on the gravel. Fresh tire tracks cut into the mud. And in the brush, a torn hoodie, later identified as Madison's. By then, fear spread across the community. Parents warned their kids to stop meeting strangers online. News outlets ran with headlines, "Teen vanishes after Snapchat meetup." But behind the scenes, the police were overwhelmed. They didn't know who Ace was. They didn't know if Madison was alive. And they didn't know how to piece together a case built on disappearing messages. The internet takes over. While investigators struggled, the internet was already buzzing. On TikTok, Instagram, and especially Reddit, armchair detectives pored over screenshots shared by Madison's friends. Threads exploded with speculation. Was Ace using a fake profile? Did Madison know him in real life? Why did her last snap feel like a clue? Some even began tracing usernames across platforms, linking similar accounts to the same mysterious alias. One Reddit user claimed to have found Ace commenting on a dark online forum weeks earlier. Another said they matched his profile pic to a blurry image from Facebook. Whether accurate or not, these threads started shaping the investigation before police could even confirm the facts. When the news of Emily's murder spread across town, people couldn't believe it. She wasn't the kind of girl who picked fights or lived a dangerous life. She was friendly, cheerful, and, most importantly, careful. But detectives knew one thing for certain: murderers rarely left no trace. The question was, where to start? In the digital age, the first place investigators looked wasn't a notebook or a diary. It was her phone. Snapchat, with its disappearing messages, quickly became the center of their investigation. While the app was designed to erase evidence, what Emily didn't know was that every post, every chat, every location ping left behind a trail of digital breadcrumbs. At first glance, Emily's phone seemed ordinary. Casual selfies with friends, streaks sent daily to her besties, and a few group chats about weekend plans. But as detectives scrolled deeper, something unusual caught their attention. A snap map ping, one that shouldn't have been there. The night of her disappearance, Emily's Bitmoji had been seen moving across town to a neighborhood she never visited. Her phone, found abandoned near the woods, confirmed that she had been using Snapchat until minutes before she vanished. This revelation gave police their first major lead. The problem? The Snap map showed her last location near a stranger's house. Detectives subpoenaed Snapchat records, requesting chat logs, timestamps, and IP addresses. The company complied, sending over a trove of digital evidence. Buried in that data was something chilling. A series of messages from an unknown username. At first, the chats looked innocent. Compliments, jokes, harmless conversations. But then, the tone shifted. The stranger grew possessive, asking Emily where she was, who she was with, and even sending jealous messages late at night. What's worse, investigators discovered that Emily had blocked and unblocked the account multiple times, suggesting she felt uncomfortable, but the person always found a way to get back into her life. Friends of Emily recalled her mentioning a weird guy she met online, someone who wouldn't stop messaging her. She shrugged it off, thinking it was just another internet annoyance. But detectives realized this was far from ordinary. Then came the breakthrough. The stranger's Snapchat username wasn't random. It was connected to an email address that police traced back to a man living only a few miles away. A man who had a disturbing past and a reputation for stalking women online. Emily's murder was no longer a mystery of who. It was about proving that this man, hiding behind the mask of Snapchat, had lured her out on that fateful night. But the detectives knew one thing. The killer thought Snapchat's disappearing messages would keep him safe. He was wrong, because buried inside Emily's phone was a single screenshot she had taken, a blurry image of his username, and that small act of instinct, almost forgotten, would turn into the smoking gun. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell. The days following the discovery of 19-year-old Kayla Mitchell's body were tense. Police knew they had a murder on their hands, but the trail was cold. No eyewitnesses, no clear suspects, and no murder weapon. Still, there was one thing: Kayla never went anywhere without her phone. And that phone was about to become the key to unraveling everything. The digital trail. Detectives pulled Kayla's call logs, texts, and browsing history. First, nothing jumped out. Her messages with family were normal, her texts with friends were casual, jokes about homework, weekend plans, even her favorite shows. But when they opened her Snapchat, things changed. Unlike texts or emails, Snapchat was designed to erase messages and pictures within seconds. It was the kind of app that seemed perfect for secrecy. But Kayla had enabled a feature many didn't know about: memories. This meant certain snaps were autosaved to the cloud, even after disappearing from her screen. The police requested access through a digital warrant. What they found made their stomachs tighten. The stranger. The first clue was a string of messages from a username Kayla hadn't saved as a contact. Nightrider_21. The chat started casually. "Hey, you live around here? Saw you at the cafe last week." Kayla's responses were polite but short, like she wasn't sure about him. Still, she didn't block him. And slowly, the tone shifted. Nightrider started sending late-night snaps. Pictures of dark roads, the shadow of someone's hand gripping a steering wheel. Captions like, "One day you'll see where I'm headed." The most chilling message came just 2 days before her murder. "You can't hide forever. I'll find you." Kayla never responded to that one. The mistake. If the killer thought Snapchat's auto-delete feature would protect him, he was wrong. Investigators realized that Kayla had taken screenshots of some of his more disturbing snaps. That was unusual. People rarely saved snaps unless they felt uneasy. One image stood out. It was blurry, but in the corner of the frame, the edge of a distinctive tattoo was visible on the sender's wrist. A black serpent curled into the shape of a number 8. Police cross-referenced the tattoo with local records. It wasn't much, but they knew if they found someone with that mark, they'd be closer to identifying Nightrider. The alibi breaks. Meanwhile, Kayla's parents revealed something else to detectives. On the night of her disappearance, she had told them she was going for a quick drive to meet a friend. They assumed it was one of her classmates, but GPS data from her phone showed otherwise. She had driven out to a deserted stretch near the edge of town, the same area where her body was later found. And the last snap she ever opened came from Nightrider_21, At 9:42 p.m., the caption read, "I'm here. Don't make me wait." It was the final digital breadcrumb. Social media sleuths step in. As whispers of the Snapchat messages leaked online, the case caught fire on social media. Reddit forums dedicated to unsolved mysteries began dissecting every clue. One user posted, "The serpent tattoo looks like it could be from a local biker crew. Anyone else notice the 8-shaped design? That's the symbol of the Iron Serpents gang." Another replied, "Check out Jordan Hayes. He's 23, works at a garage nearby, and he has the exact tattoo on his wrist. His Instagram even shows it." Redditors quickly compiled pictures of Jordan, screenshots of his social media, and even mapped out his hangouts. Within 48 hours, online sleuths had built a digital dossier thicker than what the police had on file. And the pressure was mounting. A digital witness. The turning point came when detectives compared Jordan Hayes' phone records with Kayla's Snapchat data. Jordan had deleted his Snapchat account shortly after her murder, but tech experts recovered fragments of data linking his device to the Nightrider_21 account. That was the break investigators needed. The phone was the silent witness, the piece of evidence Jordan hadn't counted on. Still, one question remained. If the police had all this, why wasn't Jordan already behind bars? Because digital evidence alone wasn't always enough. They needed more, and that more was about to come from the most unexpected place, Jordan himself. The slip-up. While under quiet surveillance, Jordan couldn't resist posting online. Though he had deleted Snapchat, he remained active on Instagram. One night, he posted a picture of himself drinking at a bar. His arms stretched out, beer in hand. Clear as day, the Serpent 8 tattoo glared back at investigators. It wasn't just proof of identity. The metadata attached to the photo showed it was taken the same night Kayla disappeared. At 9:30 p.m., when Jordan claimed he was at home, his alibi had just crumbled, building suspense. But detectives knew something the public didn't. Jordan wasn't acting alone. The pattern of messages, the locations, and even the way Kayla was lured suggested a second person was involved. The Snapchat messages might have been Jordan's, but the digital trail hinted that someone else had access to the account too. Was this a gang initiation? A twisted game between friends? Or something even darker? As the walls closed in, the killer's confidence began to falter. And for the first time, police had more than just digital shadows. They had a suspect in their sights. But what they didn't realize was that the case was about to take a shocking turn. Detectives had the Snapchat screenshots, but now they needed more than blurry messages. They needed hard evidence, something that could tie the suspect directly to the crime. The suspect, a young man with a clean face and an unassuming smile, didn't look like a killer at first glance. But technology was about to expose his double life. Investigators subpoenaed Snapchat servers, pulling backup data that the suspect believed had disappeared forever. Alongside timestamps and IP addresses, they uncovered chilling patterns. His account had been logged in near the victim's house at the very hour she vanished. And that wasn't all. A chilling voice recording surfaced, sent as a disappearing audio snap. But thanks to quick-thinking online sleuths, one copy had been screen-recorded before it vanished. In it, the suspect's voice cracked with arrogance. "They'll never find her. Not if I don't tell." The arrogance in his tone chilled the spine of detectives. For the first time, they had more than coincidence. They had intent. When police brought the evidence to him, the suspect tried to play it cool. He claimed it was just a joke, a sick prank, nothing more. But the problem was, jokes don't leave digital footprints. From deleted snaps recovered through forensic software to location data buried deep in metadata, the walls were closing in. What the suspect thought was gone forever was now the very trail that pointed to him. The internet watched as the story unfolded in real time. News outlets picked up the case. Headlines screamed, "Snapchat data could solve murder." True crime forums buzzed, with armchair detectives dissecting every new leak. Some praised the technology. Others worried if cops could pull deleted snaps, what did that mean for privacy? But for the victim's family, none of that mattered. What mattered was that the truth was finally coming into the light. Police were close and the suspect knew it. His social media went silent. His friends stopped hearing from him. And then one final snap. A grainy, late-night selfie. His eyes red. His caption, "This is the end." Within 24 hours, detectives were at his door. The knock on the suspect's door wasn't gentle. It was the sound of a dozen boots, shields, and weapons drawn. The suspect opened it slowly, his face pale, his phone still in hand. He knew why they were there. Detectives moved in fast. His phone was seized before he could delete another snap. Handcuffs clicked around his wrists. For the first time, his cocky smirk was gone. At trial, prosecutors laid out the digital trail piece by piece. The location data that put him at the crime scene. The audio snap where he practically confessed. The deleted messages showing his obsession with the victim. And finally, the chilling late-night selfie captioned, "This is the end." The jury didn't need long. After days of testimony, they returned with a verdict, guilty of murder. Gasps filled the courtroom. The victim's family wept, not from joy, but from the relief of knowing the truth had finally been told. The suspect's own friends sat frozen, realizing the man they thought they knew had hidden a darkness they never suspected. But the most haunting part of the trial wasn't the verdict. It was the way the evidence was delivered. The courtroom projector flickered as Snapchat screenshots, once fleeting messages, lit up the walls for everyone to see. What was meant to vanish had instead sealed a killer's fate. In his final statement, the suspect muttered, "If I'd just kept my mouth shut, none of this would have happened." But the truth was, in the digital age, silence is impossible. Every snap, every chat, every footprint online leaves a shadow. And this time, that shadow told the story of murder. As the gavel struck, sentencing him to life without parole, the case became more than just a conviction. It was a warning. For the victim's family, justice was served. For investigators, it was proof that even the most temporary technology leaves behind evidence. And for the world watching online, it was a chilling reminder. The internet never truly forgets. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell.